Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. Thanks for joining us, 9 a.m. Eastern time here on the East Coast. My name is Sean Penny. I'm the Director of Product Marketing here at Opsgenie, and I'm joined by George Escobedo. George, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Great. So happy to have you guys on the call today. We've got a good crowd. Looks like people are just starting to file in here, so we'll give it a couple minutes, but we'll get started. Today we're talking all about new user, and the webinar title is OnCall with Opsgenie New User Orientation. So this is going to be a really great session if you're either in an Opsgenie trial and potentially considering becoming a customer, or if you're a new customer or a new user. Opsgenie was bought into your company and you were told to go download the app and start using this thing called Opsgenie. We're going to walk through, and George specifically is going to walk through a nice demo of everything you need to know and give you the context, not only like what you need to set up, but why you need to set it up to really get the most out of the platform and ultimately streamline your workflow and your workday. So we're looking forward to it. A couple of housekeeping items as we get kicked off here. So if you have questions, please do ask. We want to keep this as interactive as we possibly can. And the right-hand side of your screen, you should see a GoToWebinar box there. You can type in a question as they come up. So if you've got questions specific to like basics of Opsgenie or something, George says something that you're not quite sure about, please put the question in and we'll stop periodically and answer any questions that we have. And then just a quick agenda, and then we're going to jump right into it. So we're going to talk about account setup. So George is going to do that first. We're going to talk about notification rules, what those are, why they're important, why they're kind of really from a user perspective, kind of the driver in the first place you go to kind of control how alerts come to you and how you're kind of interacting with the tool and everything else. And also we're going to be able to look at the mobile app too, which is really cool. We have an updated mobile app, so you guys should all have that downloaded on your phone for iOS and coming soon, or also on Android. And then OnCall schedules and forwarding rules. So that's it. So I'm not going to blabber on too many more with any more slides. I'm going to switch it over to George here, and we're going to dive into the presentation. So let me make you the presenter, George. Okay.
All right. Sean, thank you for that introduction. And thank you everyone for joining this webinar today. I'm going to be showing you the best practices on how to get started with your profile. As Sean mentioned, everything from setting up your contact methods, notification rules, setting up forwarding rules, how to configure your on-call schedule, a little bit about what the alert looks like, and of course the mobile app. So let's just get started. Right here, I have the email that is sent to you from somebody within your Opsgenie account. Usually this is an admin of a team or an owner. They're inviting you to Opsgenie so that you can now start receiving alerts for any type of notifications for the tools that you're using. So let's click into that email that I've received. You can see this is the format of the email. It's welcoming you. Welcome, George, to Opsgenie. And the blue button at the very bottom is going to allow you to activate your account. So let's go ahead and click that. So the very first screen that you're going to see is setting your password. For obvious reasons, this is very important. This is going to be the password that you use to log into your Opsgenie account going forward. So make sure you memorize this and use it every time that you log in. So I'll make something easy here so I can log in. And let's log in. So now the very first page that I'm prompted to is the quick start guide. This is going to allow you to basically configure your profile or start going into alert flow testing. On the right hand side, you'll see that there's a Essentials Plan video. I encourage you to take a look at that whenever you get a chance. And if you ever want to get back to this screen, make sure you can just hover over to the quick start guide on the bottom left hand side, and this will allow you to get back to the screen in case you missed anything. Now let's enhance the first box here. This is going to ask you to set your time zone. So set this to whatever time zone that you're located in. For me, I'm located on the Eastern Standard Time. It's going to ask me for my phone number. This is important because this is going to be a contact method that you're using for your Opsgenie account. So let's save that number here, and now it's going to ask me if I want to send a test notification. So let's go ahead and do that so you guys get a feel for what that looks like. Now I'm going to access my phone so that you guys can see exactly what that text message looks like. and you can see welcome to Opsgenie. Respond to alerts quickly on the go. Try our mobile app. So what I'll do is press that button and it prompts me to that mobile app. So let's just do a quick login here and then we'll get back to the user interface. George at opsgenie.com, password, the same password that I used before. And now I'm in. All right, let's hover back over to the web UI. We scroll down. Now we're getting a notification. We've installed the mobile app, and now we want to adjust our notification rules. By clicking this page here, it's going to my profile. So this is where you're going to configure everything within your Opsgenie account. You can see from the top down the customer name. This is the account that you're associated with. This is your login email. Make sure you remember that. This is going to be the email that you log in. Your name, the role that you've been assigned within Opsgenie. So there's owners, admins, and in this case, I'm a user. The location, my time zone, and additional information. Now, if I wanted to edit my profile by going over to this button here, I will press edit profile, and if I wanted to add my address, I can as well. So let's say, let's add an address here. And save it. And now that reflects into my profile. Down below, you'll see that the teams that you're already a part of, the escalations that you're a part of, and the schedule that you're on. So this is just the main profile page. Now getting into the next tab, you'll see that there's the notification tab here. This is the most important page on the My Profile because this is where you're going to set up your contact methods and your notification rules. So you can see I already have an email set up that I used to log in. When I applied my phone number, that reflects here in the SMS. Also, my phone number reflects in the voice. And since I signed up for the mobile app, it's there too. Now, on the right-hand side of each of these contact methods, you can see that there is the disable or enable method. You can edit this or you can delete that method. So if you wanted to customize your email, you can, or if you wanted to add an additional email, you have that option of filling out an email here. You have the option of adding 2 emails, 2 text, 2 voice, and a mobile app. So now that we've got that set up, we'll scroll down to the notification rules. Now this is important because this is how you're going to be notified for alerts. So you have a couple different alerts that you see here. By default, Opsgenie provides to you a standard template of how you'll be notified for alerts that are coming in. So you can see here, immediately you're being notified via email, voice, SMS, and mobile. Now, if you wanted to edit that or add additional rules to it, you can do that here by adding a notification method. If you wanted to copy these rules, you can do that by pressing the clone button. If you wanted to enable or disable any of these methods, you can do that. And if you wanted to edit it as well, you can. Now, taking it a next step further, let's just imagine that your team uses specific messages or priorities for their alerts. If you wanted to create a new notification rule for these types of alerts, by pressing this button here, let's say you can name a notification rule P1, so that anytime there's an alert that has the priority of P1, and you can customize this filter here, which will define that. You can say priority is P1, then notify me via a voice phone call. That way, if you're sleeping or no matter what time of the day, it's going to give you a phone call. We could save that. And in Opsgenie's notification rules, everything is managed in the top-down order. So you'll want to drag that new alert below the P1. And if you wanted to create an alert that says maybe P5, that matches this specific filter, priority, P5, then email me only because it's just an informational message. It's not the most important in comparison to a P1. So that's one method of adding new notification rules for your alerts. Down below, you'll see that there's a schedule start and a schedule end. So basically, when you're about to go on call or you're about to get off your on-call shift, this is how you'll be notified that you're about to go on call or about to leave. So by clicking into this pencil here, you'll see that you have the option to be notified before your schedule start begins, whether it's just before 15 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, or you can restrict it to certain time intervals. So you can do that as well. And then you can obviously customize the methods in which you'll be notified. Scrolling down, if you're leveraging the incoming call integration, there's rules defined within that integration that'll allow you to receive a notification, whether it's before the call is made or if somebody calling into that support line has left a voicemail. And this is how you'll be notified for that. Now, whenever your team is receiving an alert, if someone else happens to acknowledge that alert, this is how you will receive that message. And you can customize that to any of your contact methods that we've predefined before. And you can see that this list goes down below. So if anyone closes an alert that went to your team or that was acknowledged by you, or if someone reassigned an alert or added a note to an alert, this is how you'll be notified for each of those types of notifications. So that's important to know, because if you want to be notified a certain way, maybe mobile app for when you're about to go on call, or mobile app when someone else has assigned an alert to you, you can customize that all within your notification tab within your profile. Now, moving down below, if you wanted to mute notifications, say for 10 minutes, you'd have the option of doing that here. If you wanted to customize a certain schedule in which you would be able to have what's called quiet hours, you could do that here. So you can customize this. So maybe right now, anything that's in the middle of the night, don't notify you, or if it's a certain day of the week, don't notify you as well. So this can allow you to schedule that time period as well. And then the last piece of the notification tab, news and announcements. Anytime there's updates to the platform, best practices, blog posts, product news, etc., this is where you can subscribe to any of those features. Now, moving along, I'll go to the forwarding rules. So what's important about the forwarding rules is that imagine you're on multiple schedules or multiple escalations, or maybe you're even a user that's defined within the integration as a responder, and now you're going out of the office. Maybe you're sick, you're going on vacation, and you just want to forward your alerts to somebody without having to go and readjust everything within the platform. This is where you're able to customize a rule that says, hey, maybe John and I have made an agreement to, take my alerts for the next day or maybe the weekend. And from that point going forward, John's going to receive all my alerts. Very straightforward there. The next tab is my on-call schedule. So this is important because this is when you're going to be on call. This is how you basically know when you're going to receive alerts and when you're not going to. So you can see right now that I'm on call. And you can see the days that I'm on call. If you wanted to check it out by 1 day at a time, 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, or even a calendar view, you can do that as well. At the very top, you have the option to subscribe or download your calendar. So subscribing will allow you to add this URL that we provide into any of your calendars that you can see on maybe Gmail, Outlook, etc. This calendar out here. And then if you wanted to just copy that option, that URL, it's right there. The next option, download, will do the same thing. It'll download for you to copy that into a calendar as well.
Hey, George, there was a question on calendars that popped up. What is the difference? There's two types of calendars that sounds like there's two types of calendars that you can subscribe to. Like, is there a difference between those two types?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. So this calendar that says subscribe, this will allow you to subscribe to a live calendar. So if there's any adjustments ever made to the calendar, that would be the calendar that you want to download. The one on the right-hand side is a static calendar. So no matter if there's changes being made to it, it wouldn't change at all. So you have the option of either. Does that answer the question?
I think so. That's great.
Awesome. All right, great. Now, what I want to do next is hover over to the alert dashboard. Give you guys an idea of what an alert actually looks like. On the left-hand side, you'll see that there's alerts, there's incidents, there's the option to create an alert from the web UI. And then on the left-hand side also, there's predefined saved searches, and then there's saved searches that users within your Opsgenie account have created. On each of them, you can have the option to make that save search your default, or you can delete it right here. So if you're part of George's team and you want to make only George's alerts the default, by selecting that, all of George's alerts will pop up once you've accessed the alert dashboard. In the middle of the page, you'll see that there's a search query. So it says status open. This allows you to search all the alerts that are open, but if you wanted to search alerts that are closed, you would simply just change this here to status closed. Maybe you want to customize this to all time, and then it'll show you all the alerts that are closed. You could save that as well, or you can use the search bar to search another query as well. We have plenty of documentation on how to leverage the alert search query to the maximum potential so that you can really find very specific alerts. On the right-hand side, you'll see that, as I pressed before, that there's a time range that you can look for alerts. And on the other side, you can see if you want to fill out other fields without using the search query, it's user-friendly as well there. This gear that you see on the right-hand side will allow you to change the view in which you see the Opsgenie alert. So right now it's on cozy list, but if I wanted to change it to comfort, it would change right there. Or if I wanted to change it to light list, then it narrows it down a little further. Now to the actual alert, and let me go back to the cozy list. Now to the actual alert, you'll see the message of the alert, the priority labeled here with the color, the ID of the alert, the amount of times the alert has occurred, any tags associated with that alert, and then the team that is assigned to that alert. By clicking into this, you'll see the team, the service, the alias, when it was updated, and the description and priority. Now, if you wanted to see the activity log, which is essentially the life cycle of the notifications for this alert, that will reflect here. So if there's any questions about why didn't a specific user receive a message, or why didn't this policy take place, all those details are listed here below. The last tab is recipient state, so you could see who is seeing it, who had quiet hours, any pending at all.
Hey, George, there's a question that came in on this just about like access or visibility of alerts. So on my alerts, if I'm a user and I've got a long list of alerts, or other people on my teams, I guess that goes back to notification rules. Is that just, or how do I just, who else basically is accessing or can see the alerts that I can see?
So if you're a user, you're going to have access to alerts that are just relative to your team. If you're an admin, you're going to have more access over all the alerts within your dashboard. So for me, since I'm a user right now, I'm only able to see the alerts that are going to G support team, because that's the team that I'm assigned to. So yeah, that's a great question. One last piece I wanted to show you about the alerts themselves is that, and let's go back here to the actual alert page. Let's go to close. You'll see on the, when you enable the alert itself, you have the notes option. So if you ever wanted to leave any notes or any attachments to the alert itself, or if you wanted to add one, you have that option there as well. Now, what I'm going to do next is create an alert and assign it to myself to show you what that looks like. So you have the option of what integration you want to use, API integration, the message of the alert. So let's say test for George. Let's do teams. Let's say I want to add myself as a specific user, but if you wanted to customize the team, you could do that here. The priority of the alert, so let's say P1. Let's say any description, let's say testing for George again. And then we'll add myself as the recipient. So
Okay.
we'll go ahead.
George, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, when you have a chance, there was another question here.
Okay, what's up?
So Sean's asking, can a user be a part of multiple teams, and can alerts go to multiple teams?
Yes, so within your so for the user profile, you can be assigned to a number of different teams, and that's pretty common practice amongst a lot of customers. Within the integration, you could add multiple teams, and then within incidents, you could add multiple responder teams. So yes, multiple teams can be assigned to alerts, and then multiple users can be assigned to teams.
Great. Hope that answers
All right.
the question. Yep.
Yeah. So now what I'll do now is I'm going to go over to the mobile app, And let's take a look at that so that we can show you exactly what that looks like. So now that I'm already logged in, this is the new mobile app. For those of you that don't have it, maybe you want to update your app and get on the new mobile app. So here you have the dashboard will let you know if you're on call or not on call. Right now, I am on call, and you can see all the alerts that I'm associated to. So since I just created that alert, you see how my dashboard just changed to one critical alert that's open. Now I can click into that, or I can click into the incidents tab. You see that there's saved searches on my dashboard as well. What I'll do is press these 3 lines on the left-hand side, and now I'm going to go from the top to the bottom to show you exactly how this mobile app works. So let's go to See Schedules. So right now, you can see the schedule that I'm on. Right now, I'm on call. Now, if I wanted to add an override at the very top right, it's going to ask me what schedule I want to add an override to. So you could do that there. Very straightforward. Now, going back, let's go back to the alerts page here. So we can click into the alert if we wanted to. We can press this button at the very bottom that says actions, and that allows us to do any type of actions, whether it's acknowledge, close, or select this alert. Now, if I wanted to click into the alert here, you see the details. The alert ID, the priority, which is P1, the status is open. On the right-hand side, you see it ×1 means it's only occurred one time. The date it's been created, any tags associated with it, the description, the recipients, the source, integration. Now, if I wanted to acknowledge it, I'll do that. The alert has been acknowledged. If you wanted to take any other action, press that. You can close it, update the priority, add a different team, assign it to somebody else. You have so many options here. By clicking into the notes, there's no notes associated with this alert, but they would be up there, and you could see the log. So you could see the life cycle and how I was notified. Since it was a P1, based on my priority 1 notification rule that I created during this webinar, you could see that it notified me via voice. My recipient states, action, call George. So let's go back. Let's close this one out. Or actually, let's close that one. There we go. Now, what's nice about the mobile app is that if you wanted to create an alert right from the mobile app, you have that option here. You can select any of these priorities, customize any message, use any API integration, description, add new tags, etc. So that flexibility and functionality is there for you. Along the top, you'll see that there's open, if you want to go to any critical, unacknowledged, closed alerts, unseen, or just check out all of them, you have that option. Now, since we have the new mobile app that is incident friendly, we can go over here and we can click into the incidents. So now I'm able to see all the incidents that have happened for teams that have service definitions and such. So by clicking into this incident here, we can see the incident number, the priority, the status. If I wanted to join an incident command center, I have that option. It's the video bridge that Opsgenie hosts for incidents, for collaboration, for responder teams, and all the details that you're going to want for that incident itself. The logs will show all the responder teams that were notified. So to answer the question that you had before, can multiple teams be assigned to an alert? Here we go is a perfect example, multiple teams being assigned to an incident, associated alerts and responder alerts that are tied into this incident here. Now, if I wanted to create an incident right from the mobile app, I have that option by pressing this button, similar to the alert page, fill out the fields, and then press next. It's going to ask you additional responders that are needed and additional stakeholders. Now, pressing who is on call, this will show you your team's schedule. So if you wanted to add an override, press the override button, the start date, and click next, and it'll enable an override. If you wanted to check all the schedules, now you have the option of checking all the schedules and adding an override if you wanted to as well. Going to the directory, this will give you access to all the users within your Opsgenie in case you needed to contact them for any reason. So at the top, you see there's Andre the Giant. If you wanted to give Andre the Giant a call or an email, you can do that. And you can see the team that he's assigned to. So it gives you total transparency over all the users within your Opsgenie account. Going to My Profile is important because this allows you to configure certain settings within your profile, similar to how you were able to do so on the web UI, but now just from the mobile app. So by clicking into George, you'll see my profile information, my email. If you want to give me a call or email, you can do that. My notification rules, so you can see I have my P1. By pressing this button, P1 is now disabled, but we'll access that, and you can see that all across the board for all the different types of notification rules. Going into contact methods, if you wanted to disable any, you could do that here as well.
Hey, George, a question came in too, if you want to
Yeah,
jump
sure.
into this one. It's about priority of incoming alerts. So is there a way to organize or filter the priority of incoming alerts, or how can they set that? The user is asking.
Yeah, so within the integration, you have the option to either pass the priority coming from whatever tool that you're using. You can create a priority that Opsgenie provides to you. So what we provide is P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. So if a specific message from an alert warrants the need to set the priority to P1, the user has access to do that within the integration.
Great.
Yeah. I'm going to open this mobile app up. All right, so if you wanted to customize sounds for specific alert types, so for any alerts, you can change it maybe to railroad crossing. And so from that point forward, that's going to be the tone for alerts. Maybe when you're about to go on call, you want to put something sad on because you're about to be in a week-long of work and alerts being routed your way. But maybe if you wanted to send something that's happy when you're about to go off call, you could set that up here within your profile as well. And then you can customize your forwarding rules right from the mobile app. So you wanted to add that, send that to whichever user you wanted. You could do that here and then customize the date and time. And then those quiet hours that we mentioned before, if you wanted to enable those, we can schedule that. And then it'll ask me if I wanted to do it for every single day in the middle of the night or a specific weekday. And then I can add a new time range here. So going back, you can see the services from the mobile app. So this is for incidents and the service statuses. So by clicking into this, you can see the message for the service status within that incident. You can add status update if you wanted to, which allows the communication between stakeholders and responders. Oh, one last thing. If you wanted to filter this based on when somebody updated the service status last, you'd have that option. If you wanted to update it by the name, alphabetical order, you could do that as well. And then lastly, if there's any announcements to the platform that we are sending out to you and you want to be in the know of what's happening with Opsgenie, you can access that from right here. So by clicking into this, there's an updated list of phone numbers that was sent out to all users on July 23rd. Be sure to check out that because as the product grows, we're always sending out new updates and we want our customers to be in the know of everything. So that is essentially everything for the new mobile app. And that's getting started with Opsgenie.
Great, thanks, George. I'll take back control here. And if you guys are absorbing all that knowledge that we just kind of went through and all the different features there, if there are any last questions, now is a great time to put them into the chat. And we can have George walk through specific examples or anything that you're either struggling with or that you're trying to set up within your Opsgenie account. We're happy to do that while we have a couple minutes here at the end of the presentation. But in the meantime, I'll take back control here and just a couple other items to follow up on. So, okay, so the screen is showing here. All right, so, we're here to help. So George is on the customer success team, I'm on the marketing team, but we're answering questions all day long from customers. So I do want to just make it a little bit interactive. I'd love to put this poll up on the screen. If you would like help setting up your Opsgenie account or digging into some of these specific details, let us know. You can vote right on the screen. Super helpful. Then we know who to follow up with if anyone does want any additional help. Or likewise, you can also reach out to us at any time. So looks like we've got some people saying yes and some people saying no. So that's good. So we can follow up accordingly. I'll close that poll now and we can move on. All right. Let me come back to my slide deck here. So in terms of next steps, at the top, we showed that essentials plan video. If you're new to the plan or new to Opsgenie, watching that video is kind of a good subsequent task to follow up on. In addition to watching this webinar, we recorded this webinar. We're going to send you guys an email so you have a recording of it. You can share it with your teams if other members that didn't show or didn't join us. Also, George mentioned documentation. So we've got an awesome documentation section. There's a whole person on my team. All they do is create documentation, update it, make it really user friendly. So if there's questions that you guys have about any of our integrations or anything in the basics or beyond, that's the place to go. And as always, you can reach out and we'll get you the help you need at any time. So let me just double check on the questions. Looks like, oh, we had a couple more. Nick, George, this is a question from Nick. George, I don't know if you know the answer to this. I don't. We can find out. Release timing on the Android app update. I think that's.
Yeah, I could check. I don't have the answer for that off the top of my head. That's something I could check with the mobile engineering team.
Yeah, we'll find out and put a follow-up in the notes when we send out the deck. It's a good question. The iOS app is now updated, but of course you're asking for Android, so that's the next one to come. And changing the priority of incoming alerts. Can we show how to do this?
So
you want to show that, George?
It's something I can't show because, but we definitely can do it. What happens is we have the option for the priority to change when the associated alerts are changing. Their priorities change. That is something that it's just a checkbox. And I can show it if you'd like. Let me
make you presenter real quick and we can go through it. If there is something to show, could be helpful.
Yeah,
definitely. Try that.
Just a second, let me access my QuickTime.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You mind if not sharing just for a second so I can access QuickTime?
Yeah. Hang on one second. All right. It's back on me. Go ahead.
For whatever reason.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Let me see here. So it's not allowing me to access QuickTime, but within the mobile app and within the integrations themselves, you're able to select an option that'll allow you to update the priority as the priority is changing. And we can send over documentation to whoever asked that question on how to set that up.
But we can follow up. We can put that in the follow-up email that we send out, so everybody has it. If anybody else has the same question.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Good. So let's see if there's any other questions. I think we're up to date. So those are the next steps. And if you do, you can get in touch with us anytime. If you're on the website or in the app, you've got that little intercom chat box at the bottom corner of the page. You can chat on that at any time, and someone on the team will get back to you in a timely manner. And with that, we'll say thank you for joining us this morning. It's been, we've enjoyed it. We hope you guys got something out of this webinar. Please give us any feedback that you have, and we look forward to talking to you next time. Take care.